Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Today we're going to be talking about the man in the middle himself, Steve Avila. I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I think he's going to do in 2024, why I am so excited about him being a setter instead of a guard. And before we dive into that, I just want to let you guys know that you can follow me on all social media at JKBogen. And of course, you can hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Be sure to also like and leave a comment if you haven't already. Now, let's dive into it. So, Steve Avila played all 17 games as a rookie at left guard last year for the LA Rams and looked really good in doing so. Was very good in the run game and was an improvement in the passing game. I think, first off, I just want to point out, if you filter on PFF all the guards, right, for 50% snaps played, 50% of the top played, right, nobody's coming up for the Rams. Now, I bring this up because there's a reason. There's a method to my madness. I bring this up because nobody was healthy in 2022. And I understand there was a lot of health this past year. A lot of guys stayed relatively healthy, including Steve Avila playing all 17 games. But we have to really take credit with that. We need to really give credit where credit's due. Avila played all 17 games, all 18, including the playoffs. And this is a position that the Rams didn't have one guy that played half the snaps that the top starter did. So that's saying a lot, first and foremost. The second thing is he had 32 pressures given up, according to PFF, 2 sacks. And in case you didn't know, that's the same total as Joel Bitonio, who's a former Pro Bowler in his own right and an All-Pro. Then you have Joe Thuney, who's widely regarded as one of the best guards in the league, played all 17 games for Kansas City. He had 33 pressures given up, okay? So Shaq Mason, another one with the Houston Texans, 3 sacks given up and the same amount of pressures. So Steve Avila was really good last year, despite what some people might tell you. And that's saying a lot because I didn't even think the Rams were going to go that route. I didn't think they would draft a guard that high. And I didn't think they would pass on Osiris Torrance over him because Osiris Torrance, for a lot of people, was the number one guard. He had injury concerns. He was the number one guard, though. But here's the thing about going out and getting Avila, okay? He's not just a guard. As a matter of fact, he played a lot of center in college, only gave up 4 sacks, played over close to 1,000 snaps with the TCU Horned Frogs at center. So, of course, Mr. Team Player here, I mean, just green flags all over the place. When he was asked to play guard and slide on down, he did so. And he did so just totally willingly. So now, because of that, he has experience at both guard spots. He played some right guard. He played some left guard. He played center. He's a natural center, okay? And that is what gets me excited about this year. As a matter of fact, I actually brought up, and not actually, because a lot of you probably know, you've been following my channel for long enough. I actually brought up that Steve Avila should be the center this year. I didn't think they should bring back Coleman Shelton for the money that he wanted. And I didn't think that they needed to sign anybody. I felt like they could go double dip on guards, which surprisingly they did. I just didn't think Jonah Jackson was going to be one of them. I would have gone out, and I mean, I don't know if I would have been able to afford it, but I would have tried to reunite the Louisiana Lafayette guards, right? Robert Hunt, who played with Kevin Dotson. Dotson came back. That was a no-brainer to me. You had to sign Dotson. But I wasn't necessarily a big fan of just throwing money at a center when I felt like Avila could play center, and he could play it at a high level, and he's a natural center. So when you look at, the fact that, he's this big 6'5", 330-something pound guy, and he moves well, and he's going to help you in the run game, but also he's sturdy. He's sturdy in pass pro. I got very excited. So I'll be honest with you. I think the Rams transformed their offensive line more with this move than signing Jonah Jackson. And I thought the Jonah Jackson move was wild. Like, I never expected them to go that route. But at the same time, Avila playing center, I said the biggest weak link. And I appreciate his contributions just like I appreciate Brian Allen's contributions, okay? And I appreciate John Sullivan's, okay? But Coleman Shelton was the liability of that offensive line last year. And he struggled passing off responsibilities and communicating in real time when you had stunts. So when you had all these different pass rushers, creating all this traffic and making it convoluted, he wasn't getting that information out quick enough, and he wasn't able to do it quick enough because he's not a very athletic center. He's not a bad player, but he's not on the level of Avila. And I know that because I watched Avila at TCU and came away that I felt like he was more of a center than a guard. So now he's playing his natural position, in my opinion. He's only 24 years old, will be 25 in October. And you get a chance to have, in my opinion, if this works out, Avila, and we talk about on our last video, special thanks to Bleacher Report, it was a live stream, and I posted it, and it was the all-time Rams list. Remember that? I talked about Rich Saul and Doug Smith. Steve Avila has a chance to be the greatest center in Rams history. That's not knee-jerk reaction. That's not just like craziness. Like, he has the body of work in college to show you he can play center at a very high level. And now you don't have kind of an undersized center in the middle. You have a guy that is sturdy, a guy with mass, a guy that's going to kick your ass. And that is exciting. That should get anybody excited. If you are a football fan, why do you like football? You like it, whether you realize it or not, you like it because of the physicality. You may not come out and say physicality. That might not be the number one thing that you think of, but it's the physicality, okay? It is, because there's nothing like it. And the grit that Steve Avila has is going to be a determining factor for a lot of those one-on-one matchups. And I'm very excited for it. And I think just all around the supporting cast, we talked about Jonah Jackson in our last video, and Alec Jackson, Avila going to center, he's going to be right next to Dotson and Jonah Jackson. There's not really a fall off there. Now, I mentioned Jonah Jackson. So what comes with Jonah Jackson? When you think about Jonah Jackson, despite the fact that he's an ass kicker, what else are you thinking of? Well, unfortunately, you're thinking of injury. He hasn't stayed healthy the last 2 years. So that's a concern. Okay? That is a concern. Will he stay healthy? Well, if he doesn't stay healthy, then Avila gets kicked probably back in at guard, and maybe we see Bo Limmer at center. That's the fascinating thing. They can do some different things. Now, also Joe Nopum could move in at guard, but they have different options. So it speaks to Avila's, in my opinion, his versatility. I'm not even convinced he couldn't play tackle. He doesn't need to, but I'm not convinced. If everything fell off the wagon, I wouldn't be surprised if he could play right tackle for the Rams. Now, what I'm saying is he's got key and critical aspects to his game. He's versatile, okay? He's a mammoth man. This is somebody that is not going to be moved easily, but he's going to move. He's a people mover. He is going to move you easily. So he's going to be great in the run game. Stock up on Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. Having a guy like Avila blocking for you in the middle is going to be just huge. And he's so intelligent, and he's such a leader that he fits exactly what the Rams were looking for. And I will say this, they drafted him, regardless of what anyone says, they drafted him to play guard, but they knew damn well that he was probably going to play center down the road. They knew it. And this is just a smart move. And this type of stuff just goes to show you why the Rams are just constantly in the picture. It takes catastrophic injuries like a virus in order for them to not be in the playoffs with Sean McVay. And even still, back in 2019, when they missed the playoffs, a lot of injuries, especially in the interior, and they still just missed it. So, look, this is why. Because since Sean McVay has come over to the Rams, everyone has upped their game. The organization has upped their game. Les Snead's upped his game. And they're finding guys like this. And they're building a culture. And they're abiding by the culture that they build. Avila, excuse me. I've gotten so good at saying Avila, now I just said Avila. Avila is no different. He fits, he's exactly what the Rams would want, and as long as he continues playing like he did last year and developing and getting better and better, he's going to be around for a long time because they are definitely, whether you realize it or not, they are saving room to pay this man and Puka Nacua. They are already looking ahead. They're seeing this guy for what he is, a long-term deal type of guy. This isn't just a second-round pick who will be gone after his rookie deal is up. No. They see this guy for who he is. He represents everything that it means to be a Ram, and so I'm excited. So I think his 2024 season is going to be epic. I think having him at center, he becomes the most physically imposing center that the Rams have had in recent memory. But I think he has a chance to be the best center in Rams history, and that's just judging off of his, just not a lot of playing, but his time at TCU and then his time with the Rams last year. I think he's that good. So I'm excited, and it's a big reason why I think the Rams have a chance to be a top 5 offensive line this year. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, folks. Later. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.